Hey there, welcome to day 17 of the 30-Day Authenticity Challenge. My name is Damio Shodi, and I have a passion for creating resources, programs, and basically anything that will help transform your mind. I am personally passionate about helping people get activated in their purpose and reach and succeed or exceed in their potential. So, welcome to day 17 of the challenge. And on this 30-day challenge, we're basically investigating different areas of your life and figuring out how to make those different areas more luxurious for you. This is to help promote my new podcast that will be coming out, Luxury State of Mind, where I'm basically going to teach you how to live in luxury every single day of your life based off of three pillars. Identity being the first one, intentionality being the second one, and then freedom of choice. So no matter where you live, what career you have, how much money you're making, you can design a life that is luxurious for you. So on this day, we're going to discuss how self-investment is a form of luxury and really why would you want to invest in yourself. And that could look like many ways. And honestly, everything that we've spoken about thus far has been a form of self-investment. But let's kind of dive just a little bit into the mindset of why you should invest, and then also some ways you can invest. So we can think about it like this in the way of gaining new information. We'll speak to it in that sense. So maybe through mentorship, coaching, podcasting, reading books, seeking out information is the type of investing I'm going to talk about today, right? So the number one reason why you would want to invest in yourself, either through coaching, joining some kind of program, getting a mentor, just being a part of something that causes you have to invest into something. The number one reason why you'd want to do that is to cut down your learning time. If you're able to walk with somebody who has gone through what you've are currently going through and has a proven system or has experience that can help you along the way to cut down how much time you would actually have to put in yourself, it saves you a lot. Time is the most precious thing that we have on earth because we can't get it back. It's more precious than money. So if there's an opportunity to invest into something or gain information or invest into someone that can help cut down your learning time, then it's a great investment. So let's say you wanted to start, I always say a podcast because that's what I'm doing, starting a podcast, right? So let's say you want to start a podcast and it takes you for the last 6, 7, 8 months, you've been trying to research how to start this podcast. You've looked at all the YouTube videos, you've looked at different people and how they're doing their platform, but you can't seem to piece it together. It may be in your best interest, depending on what you're trying to do with your podcast, to hire somebody to help you. If you were to pay an investment, let's say $500 or $1,000, again, depending on what it is that you are trying to achieve with your podcast, that could be a great investment because now instead of you have spent that 6, 7, 8 months or however many months trying to put together something, sitting with somebody for 2 weeks or even in a strategy session could save you so much time. So when you think about investing, don't think about it just in the dollar amount that you're spending. Think about it in what time you'll be able to get back. You could spend hours doing something, but somebody already has the answer, and it will require an investment at times. And again, this can look like anything. It could be coaching, it could be podcasting, it could be reading books, and I'll get to that point too. But the point is, you invest in yourself through partnering with other people, gaining new information to help reduce your learning curve so you can hit the ground running much faster and get farther faster than if you were trying everything alone and by yourself. So that's number one. Number two, another reason why you'd want to invest in yourself, especially again in your mind and skill sets and all these things, is there are answers to your problems hidden in certain things. So hidden in certain people, books, resources. Sometimes when we're trying to look for an answer, things are not just as they seem. They're not just in front of us. there are times in life where we have to seek out information. And sometimes we're not understanding what, like if we're struggling with something, right? We're not understanding it because we're only using what we know. But sometimes if you read a book, for example, like maybe you wanted to get better at your finances, that's something that's a goal of yours. There's somebody who has written a book on how they were able to get their finances together. Why not invest into reading that book? So again, the investment could look like coaching, but it also could look like buying a book, um, or some kind of like course or something. There are sometimes you have to seek out answers to your problems. They don't just come to you. So that's a major thing to think about. If you're struggling with something and you've maxed out on what you know, seek out new information. Keep digging, keep finding, and you will find the answer. And even the Bible says that too, that keep knocking and the door will be open to you. There's a principle about seeking out information that will give you the answer that you're looking for. And then number three, why would you invest in yourself? It's to help you be better prepared for new situations, new levels. Again, you may be in a new situation where an answer or a solution is required, but all you have is old information of what worked in the past, of what worked back then. But the situation calls for a new answer, a new solution. So it would be best to be able to invest into something, somebody, or a resource that can keep you up to date with what's going on, that can give you a sense of new solutions so that when problems arise or difficulties arise, you have new resources. So if we're still trying to run business as we did in 1995 compared to now, maybe the principles of running a business has stayed the same in some regard, but the way we run a business is completely different today. So not staying with the old, but bringing in the new, so you have better flexibility and adaptability to new problems as they arrive, and you can be a better solution to them. So then how can you actually self-invest? Like, what are some ways that you can do this? So like I've said, there's the investing in mentoring, coaching, all those different things, right? Because then again, we're in this context, we're thinking more of the mindset and improving your skills. But there are ways that you can personally, choices that you can make that can help you invest in yourself. So one way of doing this is learning to advocate for yourself. And basically meaning, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're in a situation where you feel that you don't know something, it is better that you ask a question than for you to be fumbling and struggling through it for hours or days. The problem that you have literally could be solved in a 5-minute conversation versus you investing so much time into something that didn't necessarily need all that time. There's wisdom in how we do things. And usually, or what can typically happen is we're afraid. We don't want to look stupid. I mean, I know like I've struggled with that, and I've had to work through this. Like even in my career and in my job, there was a time I thought, oh my gosh, I have to know everything. That's why they hired me, and I would be afraid to ask questions. But then I realized I'm sitting here and I'm struggling. Like, why not ask the person who knows more? And if they find me irritating or if I look annoying, I don't care, because once I'm able to get the questions answered, I'm off to the races. Like I can start doing things a lot quicker. So sometimes that fear will rise up in you that, oh, don't talk, oh, don't ask any questions. They'll think you don't know, and that imposter syndrome. But really, sometimes the freedom that you're looking for and the answers that you're looking for can be found by asking questions, humbling yourself, and being able to advocate for yourself and your needs. So that's number one. That's a way of, or a principle or a way that you can invest in yourself. Number two, again, I had spoken about this previously, but seeking out new information. Right? So sometimes information is not readily available, especially things there are some information, depending on what you're going through, it's just very valuable. Like sometimes if you're dealing with mental health problems, you by yourself may not know how to handle it. It's better for you to invest into a therapist. that aligns with the values that you have and can give you advice based off of where you want to go. So the same thing applies. Wherever you're seeking the information, make sure that the information or the person or wherever you're getting that information from aligns with where you actually want to be. You don't just want to take any type of information. You have to be selective. But in you seeking things out, maybe doing a couple discovery calls, getting in a couple of groups, and just honestly observing how are people living, but is there results in their life how you actually want to live for yourself? If they are in alignment, then move forward, but continue to seek that information out. But information that or resources that align with where you want to go. Just don't take anybody's advice or take anything just because, oh, they say they can, maybe you're having a business, I can help you make 1 million in 3 months. How is their life? How are they living? Does it align with what you are trying to do? Number three, how you can invest in yourself is to let go of the mentality that it's selfish. There is a very strange mentality around, especially with women and women of color, that investing in yourself in any way is selfish because, giving your time to other people all the time, or, oh, your job needs you, and oh, this and that. And it's always about other people, but it really is just a disservice to yourself because you will not be able to grow and evolve to where you need to be if you continuously think in your mind that it is selfish. That, oh, especially for some who are believers too, thinking that, oh, I just, everything's for other people. I shouldn't talk about myself. I shouldn't look at myself. But it's like, I mean, if you're not good, like if you're not well, even within yourself, if you're struggling, how are you actually able to help other people? And these things are very ingrained in our minds. Like you would never say to yourself, or actually, some may say that is selfish, but it's to invest in yourself. But it's a thought that's in your mind. It's a conversation that was had years ago. It was an example that was shown to you when you were young. And those things are like a tape recorder that your mind continuously replays, and then you act out what you've learned without you even realizing it. So take stock. Like if there's an area that you're like interested in growing and there's always a resistance that, oh, I shouldn't, or, oh, I feel, you feel like maybe negative towards it, maybe invest. Where did that come from? Don't just take it as that's just what it is. So investing in yourself is not selfish. Let go of that mindset. Number four, another way to invest in yourself is to not let everybody on your journey. Everybody does not have to accompany you on your journey of growth. There are some things that you may do. Like I heard this quote from Courtney Sanders. I may not quote it like correctly, but it was along the lines of basically, in order to get exceptional results, you have to do like sometimes exceptional things or extraordinary things. Sometimes the results that we're looking for requires us to make huge investments. That could be of our time, that could be of our resources, our money. Like for example, like in her podcast, I believe she wakes up at like 2, 3 in the morning, which sounds crazy. And she explains the reason as to why she does that, but she's able to build a business, take care of her family, spend time with her husband, like do all of these different things. And it allows her to live at the life and the level that she wants to live. So sometimes, like, if she was like, oh, telling everybody, oh, this is what I'm doing, they would discourage her. Like, why are you doing that? Like, that sounds crazy. Like, what's wrong with you? Right? So sometimes there are things that are required for you in order to invest in yourself that most people will not understand, or the people that you're surrounding yourself with currently do not understand. And once you kind of peep that they don't get it, my suggestion to you is just to keep quiet. There are, for example, coaching programs that you may want to invest in that cost a lot of money, but you know that the return on investment is going to be much greater. And people may not agree with that. It sounds crazy to do something like that. And it's just something that you have to keep in mind if you're really trying to go to the next level, that not everybody, even sometimes your closest friends, don't need to know everything that you're doing. Let them see the results. And then number five, another way that you can prioritize self-investment or that, yeah, you can prioritize self-investment is to prioritize making the time to learn. Sometimes time, or not sometimes, all the time, really, if we're trying to learn something new, time is required in order to move on to the next level of whatever it is that you want to do. Let's say you want to get more fit, it requires going either to the gym, doing some kind of physical activity, making that an intentional part of your week, your day, however you want to do it. If you're looking to get better at your finances, you may need to make time to read a book or listen to an audiobook as you're driving to work. Maybe that means not watching as much Netflix and all these and TV, and giving yourself maybe 30 minutes or however much time to invest in yourself. You have to prioritize these things in order to move forward. They aren't just going to happen. um, it does require an investment on your end, and it's not always easy, and that's not what I'm trying to say here, that oh, it's just easy, like, just do it, like, what's wrong with you? No, it's a sacrifice. In order to invest in yourself, it is a sacrifice. Everything that I've said up, like, throughout this whole 30 authenticity challenge, it's going to require sacrifice, because you have to look at yourself. That's one. You have to step back and think and be like, okay, what am I doing? How can I improve? Just even the process of thinking is a sacrifice, because you could be doing other things, but to now, like, focus on yourself and see how you want to improve requires sacrifice. And then not only that, to implement and make changes, it's not necessarily easy, but it is necessary. So I want you to be a woman, and I'm sure you may already be investing in yourself, but I want you to be a woman who makes that a lifestyle, who is able to look at an opportunity, and let's say there's a certain price for something that you want to learn. You are willing to invest, even if you can't invest at the time, you're willing to invest at a later date, because you understand the value of what you are gaining. You understand that it is taking you to another level. So, self investment is indeed a form of luxury, and self investment can lead to more luxury. You're learning new skills, you're learning how to be a better you. That means you can be better at your job, you can be a better business owner, you can be a better wife, mother, all these, and that can help increase your luxurious lifestyle to the different levels that you want it to be. So I hope that this helped you. I'm curious to know, and you can leave a comment, that what are some ways that you want to invest in yourself? For example, are you looking to change careers? Maybe investing in a career coach would be a great opportunity for you to invest in yourself. Are you trying to get better at your fashion? Maybe investing in a stylist would be a great way. Or, you know what I mean? I want to know, like, what are the places in your life that you are planning to invest into this year? So thank you so much for joining me for day 17. Let me know if these lives have been helpful for you. I would love to hear from you and get your opinions and your reviews, and see how I can better help you throughout the rest of this journey. All right. I will speak to you tomorrow for day 18, y'all. We are almost done with the challenge. We're almost there. Day 18. I will speak to you tomorrow. Bye.